ForeverSteel knife we're gonna go ahead and check out together. And this one comes in a plastic little casing here, leather pouch. This is an interesting call here, pretty hardcore, passes the sniff test, smells good, leathery. And here is the knife, and oh man, this is absolutely something, ladies and gentlemen. Let's zoom in here, 5x. Another ForeverSteel, again, Decklings design. That's what we were looking at on the other one. So we got a spade, a little embossed icon there on both sides, kind of some dots there, what looks to be like a spine lock. Okay, is that what it's going to be? A spine lock. That's going to be interesting. Of course, what really stands out here is the handles, right? Check out the handles here. I probably should put my white gloves, right? Put my Metal Complex white gloves on and handle this one like the true epic piece that it is. According to what I'm reading on this knife, it's mostly handcrafted, right? There are some CNC pieces that are not able to be made, so mostly handcrafted knife here. We have Damascus, beautiful Damascus on the handle, and we have some brass accents. Looks like on thumb stud, pivot right back here with this bit of a backspacer, also with the lanyard solution. It's interesting how they did that. Then we have a Swedish Damasteel / M390 on the blade, which looks pretty epic. So yeah, let's go ahead and give this thing a full open here and see how it goes. And kind of going back to my joke about the white gloves, I don't have any handy, but maybe one day I will. Anyways, here we go. Oh man, that deployment was actually pretty solid, right? It worked just as you would expect. And check it out, right? It is going to be a back lock, so push down on here. It actually releases, right? The back lock as such. All right, let's actually get in there, zoom in a little bit. You guys can see it in action. So this is how the lock takes place. And then we push here, and then right, it lifts the back lock, and we can fold the knife. So very mechanical, right, from that standpoint. So it's gonna be a little bit of a shake shutter. Thumb deployment again. There we go. That feels good. Probably do again shake shot, right? Can we reverse flick? Reverse flicking is a bit of a, yeah, it's a bit of a more challenging approach. So I would just do thumb stud deployment all day with this one. The other thing you notice, right, we'll get to the blade in a second. The other thing you notice is how slim and narrow the knife is. Again, same thing with this one, right? Just like I said with the other knife. This one is not trying to win the prize on the most utilitarian knife that everybody should own out there. This is a very intentional custom piece made for knife collectors and very serious knife enthusiasts, and it exactly knows who the market is. So, you know, again, look at this knife differently than all the other budget knives and very utilitarian knives that I showcase in this channel all the time, right? This is something unique, something a little bit more out there. A very interesting piece to check out indeed. But I'm noticing again how slim it is. So it actually kind of feels a bit weird that it's so slim, right? Obviously you have way more handle on this guy by comparison. But you know, again, this is intentional. It's part of the design. The other thing I find is that the little ring portion back here, right? Your lanyard solution is a little bit pokey. So depending on the circumstances, it's actually poking the palm there a tad bit. But again, right, this is not a knife you're going to carry every day. It is supposed to be the most comfortable thing out there, right? Hand melting ergos or what have you. It's more of a collector's piece, right? More of a piece of art that still works, right? Because we still got a blade here. And so let's check out the Damasteel, right? Swedish Damasteel. All right, check it out. Beautiful pattern all throughout with some shine, some reflection to it without a doubt. And then we have a flat grind and a very interesting sort of switch there towards the front. Check that out. That is very interesting and different, very unusual, right? As the whole knife is pretty much. So checking out the rest of the knife here. It is going to be a tip down carry. So when you do carry this knife, which again, right, being a collector's piece and all, some people might have it as a safe queen. And if you have money like that and you want to carry it, more power to you. It is going to be a tip down carry, right? Non-reversible pocket clip, tip down carry, right? And then we have a matching Damascus pocket clip. I like the brass accents back here. Again, they just add to the aesthetics, right, in the design, but nothing crazy as far as functionality. It's just for looks. Again, mostly, right, you're working with a backlog. So haven't necessarily featured a whole lot of backlogs here on the channel. It's always nice to see a good implementation of a different lock, and that's exactly what you have here. So needless to say, that's going to be a very robust engagement there. without a doubt, you basically have to remove this whole piece that's getting wedged in there in order to disengage the knife. So check that out. Alignment there smack in the middle, as you would expect. And overall, just wild. Very sort of curvy as well. Curved handle, right? A little bit of curve on the blade also. Yeah, such an interesting, beautiful looking piece. We got Damasteel / M390. At least that's what it says on the website. And the answer is yes. Cut into that paper there with no issues. Forgot to do the nail test. Oh, that is one bitey, toothy edge right there. And again, same deal. Single wall piece of cardboard, cutting diagonally. Wow. Yeah, see, this is a slicer through and through. It doesn't get too thick. It is a tall, flat grind. And the answer is yes, it is going to annihilate that cardboard without any issues.